Hey guys, what's up? Jeff with Top Star Detailing Las Vegas here. I got a little break in between some of my details for the day, and just wanted to make a quick video and talk about kind of how detailing saved my life and gave me purpose. I wanted to go into this topic just a little bit because maybe some of you guys out there are in this position or were in this position when considering starting your detailing business. Aside from owning a couple small businesses that didn't succeed when I was younger, I pretty much bounced around from job to job. I probably worked close to 30 different jobs since I was a teenager, maybe even more, mostly in the restaurant industry, bartending, some type of sales management. I was doing okay. I mean, I was making enough money to get by, never really getting ahead to achieve the level of success that I had hoped for. I was kind of stuck in this comfort zone, if you will. And it wasn't because I was lazy or had a bad work ethic or anything like that. I've actually always been a really hard worker, worked hard all my life, at whatever job I was in, and gave it my all, or pretty close to it anyway. I would usually excel at some type of promotion, or into like a management role. The problem for me was really more of a lack of direction, I guess you could say. I always knew that, like, while I might be good at some of these jobs and make decent money, it wasn't really what I wanted to be doing, at least not forever anyway. It wasn't fulfilling for me. I viewed these jobs as more as like kind of temporary placeholders, like a way to pay the bills until I could figure out what it was I really wanted to do. From 2014 up until 2020, I was living in Hawaii, had a really good sales management job, making around $150K a year. I was living a pretty good life. I was hiking all the time, diving, and just really enjoying island living. I was comfortable, but I wasn't fulfilled. So, we all know what happened in 2020. The place that I was working at basically shut down and never reopened after the pandemic. So there I was living in Hawaii. The cost of living out there is extremely high, and my comfortable six-figure income was basically gone in the blink of an eye. So as much as I love the island lifestyle, I knew that I wouldn't be able to stay there without that job. And it would only be a matter of time before I began to burn through my savings and eventually run out of money. So what I did, basically what any sane person would do at that time, I sold everything and I packed up my bags and moved to Ibiza. I just needed some time away from everything, in a new place, kind of clear my head. And after a year of living in Spain on Ibiza, I came to this turning point, like a moment of realization, I guess. I was living in a foreign country with no job, no income, just really no way to make money out there. My savings were almost completely depleted, and I knew I was going to have to go back to the US and go back to work at some point. So, here I am, almost 50 years old. And, at the time, no family, no job. And really, even worse than anything, I just had no sense of purpose in my life. As I thought about coming back to the US and the whole process of having to go apply and work for another dead-end job, it made me really depressed. And I really started to question kind of everything in my life at that point. All the things that I had done wrong, all the poor decisions that I made that led me to this point that I was at in my life. I wanted to point the finger at everything else and put the blame, on everything else as to how I ended up there. And if only this didn't happen, or if only this did happen, it's because the economy or because of who's the president, all the way back to my high school guidance counselor that didn't give me enough direction as to what to do with my life, But the reality of it, is that I was in this position because of of my own fault, my own choices that I had made. And it was finally time for me to take accountability for everything that I had done or not done in my life. I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I knew like going back to work, another job that I hated and, would only continue the cycle that I was in. It would just leave me feeling like unfulfilled and without that sense of purpose again. And a man without a purpose, it's kind of a dangerous place to be, So I started brainstorming, just kind of thinking of the things that I enjoyed, the things that I was good at. Just basically, what I could create that would not only give me a sense of fulfillment and purpose that I needed, but also provide me with an income that I could live off of. The sense of fulfillment and purpose were, I guess, kind of more top priority over the thought of like getting rich. I just needed to make enough money to like live a comfortable lifestyle and just be happy moving forward. I had lost my father to cancer back in like Christmas time in 2008. And he was a great man. He always gave me like the best advice. And I started wondering, just thinking like, what advice would he give me if he were still here with us today? I started thinking about our time together when I was a teenager. Some of the best talks we would have were, in the driveway when we were detailing our cars together at the same time. I had a 1981 Formula Firebird that he helped me build and restore. And he had this brand new 1988 Ford Thunderbird with a 5-liter, and it was bright red. It was a super cool car at the time. At the time, they were both really cool cars, or at least what I thought was cool cars as I was a teenage kid anyway. And I would remember, we would detail our cars at least once or twice a week. And we always had the cleanest cars on the block, if not in town even. But I've always had this passion for cars and car care that I think I inherited from my father. And one of the things that I love about detailing cars to this day even is sometimes when I'm working, I kind of reflect back to those times of us in the driveway together. And, every once in a while when I'm working, I want to take a shortcut, or I'm thinking like, that's good enough. It looks good enough. I hear my dad's voice in my head, and he'll say, "Come on, boy! Like if you're gonna do it right." So while I'm reminiscing about these memories with my dad, I kind of had this like light bulb go off in my head, and I thought to myself, like, what about a car detailing business? That's something that I've always been interested in. And it also occurred to me that strangely enough, I actually enjoyed cleaning, which is, I know it kind of sounds weird, but I've always kind of enjoyed that transformation process of taking something dirty and making it like clean, like making it new again. And strangely enough, I inherited this trait from my mother, who has like a severe OCD for cleaning and likes everything to be like super spotless and clean and just kind of like aesthetically perfect. So the more I started to think about it, the more it started to kind of all make sense to me. These family traits with like the sales and management background, the skill set that I had acquired over the years would, essentially make for like a successful detailing business. So I really started to kind of get serious about it. I started to do my research and consume as much content as possible on the subject. And the more I researched, the more excited I became about it. It was like kind of like a spark that ignited a fire within me again, And I thought to myself, like, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. I knew with 100% certainty that this is what I wanted now, and this was going to be my goal moving forward. So before I left Ibiza, I started, just kind of like writing out my business plan and step by step what exactly what was that I needed to do. And I got really methodical about my approach and laid out every little specific detail and expense as to like what it would take to achieve this vision that I had. And I actually got pretty much almost the whole thing done even before I left Ibiza. Like I had the logo done, the business plan, pretty much everything except the equipment really. And, you know, I had to just kind of figure out like where I wanted to start the business. And as much as I loved living in Hawaii and the island life, I knew that that wasn't going to be the right place for the detailing business. There's just really not a strong market for that there. People don't drive really those high-end luxury vehicles, and they don't really care about their vehicles as much there. It's more like beach cars, and they just run them through a car wash whenever. So I couldn't really see that as being like a full-time thing there that would sustain enough money to actually make a living off of. And that's when I really decided on Vegas, because I had lived there before, had friends there, and I knew Vegas would be a good market, being that you could work there year round. And it's a good place to set up a corporation, no state taxes. And so, you know, I made the decision to move back to Las Vegas, and I got started immediately on arrival. And for the first time, like, in a long time, instead of like laying in bed at night, not being able to fall asleep because I was thinking about everything and just not having a purpose. Instead, I was laying in bed, you know, with my mind racing of all the different possibilities that I could potentially accomplish with the business. So, you know, instead of me sleeping in the mornings and not wanting to get out of bed because I just didn't want to face the day and just didn't have that direction or purpose, I was waking up super early. I was excited. I wasn't wanting to waste any more time. I just wanted to like get going and get started, because I knew that there was so much to accomplish. So I guess, I mean, when I say detailing saved my life, you know, I can say that to you openly and honestly, that, I mean, I could have very easily given up and kind of given back into despair and fell back on, you know, the bad things in life, drugs, alcohol, or whatever that some people do to kind of escape reality. But instead, you know, I searched kind of within myself, and I was able to find the solution, find a path that would like get me back on the right course again. And I'm grateful every day for the opportunity to be able to get up and just do something that I enjoy, that I find challenging, that's rewarding for me, that's fulfilling. It's given me that purpose back in my life to grow into and become the best version of myself. So anyways, I know this video is kind of a little long and maybe a little deep, but I hope by sharing this with you guys, maybe it helped a few people out there who might be unhappy with their current situation, their current job, just might be struggling even to find your purpose and feeling depressed or like you're not where you want to be in life, you know, and that happens to a lot of people. So just know that you know, you can change your situation. It doesn't have to matter like where you're currently at or what's happened in your life in the past. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. It's never too late or too soon to make that change, you know. You're always just that one decision away from making a whole new reality, a reality that you can create for yourself. But it starts with you taking accountability for your life, and the changes happen when you decide to actually take action. So thinking about it's not going to be enough. You have to make a plan, make a real plan, and take action. You know, there's no one other than yourself that's responsible for your life, and no one else is going to change it for you. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got at this point. I just wanted to share that with you while I was thinking about this stuff, and hopefully it brings some value to some of you guys out there. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.